multisyllable words for you to share. Hopefully you have had some practice with what I covered in the previous two lessons. And today's lesson is going to be taking about 6 pretty complicated words and reviewing how we break them apart and how we can use the syllable types to help us figure out what the word is rather than just guessing it. So I'd like you to look at the word that I have here on the screen, and I'm going to just once again model how I would go about approaching this word to figure it out. What I'm not going to do is just glance at these 2 letters and look at the length of the word and say, oh, it's location, okay? Because that's just guessing. That's looking at this and just kind of guessing a word that it might be. Because we don't do that, okay? We really need to break it apart and look at the sounds. So the first thing I do is I would point to the 2 vowels. I'm going to use my left hand to point to the first vowel I come to. And normally you'd have this word right in front of you, so it's a little bit tricky, but I would use my left hand to point to the first vowel I come to. And then I'm going to use my next, look for the next vowel with my right hand. And I see that there's a vowel there, and then up, it's almost just automatic because the other finger pops up, so that shows me that those 2 are going together, okay? So I have a vowel here and a vowel here. I'm just going to put like a little dot there because it's hard for me to hold my fingers at this angle. Okay, so we found that there's a vowel there and a vowel there, okay? And I'm also just going to kind of put a little line there to remind myself that that I goes with the E, and that's going to be important later on. And then after you have located the vowels where your left hand and your right hand are pointing, you look at the consonants in between. And this is where you have to make a decision. So I see 3 consonants. Usually we say it's easiest just to divide equally between the consonants, but when there's 3, you can't divide that equally. So you have to look at the letters and you have to think about what you know in English. So I could divide here between the F and the T, and then that would put the F over here, but then it would put the T and the L together. Can you think of a word where you have T and L right together to say? I can't either. So then I think that would be silly. So what if I did it between the T and the L? Well, I know words have the F and T together, and that's a little bit easier to say. So that'd be ft. I can say that, and then the L would be over here. So I think that's the best choice, is to divide between those 2 consonants. Once we've done that, I want us to now take a look at our syllable bars up here, okay? Because our syllable bars can help remind us about some things that we might have forgotten. So if I look right here, I notice that there's a consonant, or there's a vowel followed by 2 consonants, okay? So I want to look up here and I see a vowel followed by 2 consonants, a vowel, oh, there's only 1 consonant and 1 consonant. So it looks like this is the syllable bar that I need to help me pronounce that syllable, okay? When I bring that syllable bar down, I'm suddenly reminded, oh yes, that's a short vowel because it's a vowel followed by 2 consonants. That means it's a closed syllable. So I know that this is a closed syllable, and I also know that closed syllables are super easy to read, okay? Now I'm going to focus on this part, and I'm looking again at my vowel, and I do remind myself that I did have that I with that E, so I know that that is a silent E syllable. I've got 2 silent E syllable bars left right up here. So it looks like one starts with a consonant blend and one does not. And I notice that I just have 1 consonant here. So this is the syllable bar. Again, the syllable bars are helping remind us how these are going to sound. Now what I need to do is I need to use my hand. I'm going to use a card because, again, it's hard to do from an angle. I would normally use my hand to cover up that syllable. So I'm going to cover that syllable up. And now we're just going to concentrate on this part. So look here. What sound does that make? Ah. The word is loft. Okay, so now we know that one. Then I'm going to move my hand over here. That's a word you've probably known since kindergarten. Yes, the word like. Okay, so now we know each syllable. And now we can look right across, keeping our eyes on the letters, and we know that the word says loft-like. I can bet that a lot of you, if you saw this word in a book, would panic a little bit. I've actually never really seen that word until it was on my list today. But if we approach all of our complicated words like this, we will do a very good job of learning how to read those very complicated multisyllable words. even know what this word means, boys and girls. It was on the list though, so it is a real word, but you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that it's not a word you know or a word that you know what it means, because it's still a word and you have to be able to read it. Okay? All right. See if you can think what I should do first. Who remembers? Yes, I have to find my vowels. Okay, so I take my left hand, I find the first vowel, I go here, I see the second vowel, and I say, ah, there's the E. Okay, see how that reminds me what that syllable is? Okay, so we found one vowel here, and we found one vowel here, and then we know that those two go together. So now we have to stop and do what? Yes, we have to look at the consonants in between. Oh my goodness, there's 3 consonants. I can't divide them equally. So we have a T, an S, and a B. Well, I wonder if I divided it between the T and the S. Well, then that would make me have a word that started with a S and a B. Sb. Sb. I can say it, but that seems kind of funny. I don't think I've seen any words in English that those S and B's go together. So what if I divided it between the S and the B? Oh yes, that was a T and an S, and I think that's the better choice. So let's divide the word there. Okay? That makes a little bit more sense. Now we just need to concentrate on each syllable. Okay, so we know that this is a 2-syllable word. I'm going to bring down the word, and we're going to look up here at our syllable bars. Let's check our first side right here. Here's our first syllable that we're concentrating on. Okay, I see one vowel there in the middle, followed by 2 consonants. So looks like that would be this syllable bar right here, because there's our one vowel followed by 2 or more consonants. And show me what syllable type this is. Yes, it's closed. Okay, that vowel is going to make the short vowel sound. Let's look at our other syllable. Okay, we've got a consonant, and then we've got a vowel, E, silent E. Okay, so if you notice, it's this syllable bar here. So we just kind of move that one down, and that's helping us remember what that vowel sound is. Okay, remember the key to figuring out these words is making sure you know what the vowel sound says, and then making sure that you're pronouncing the letters in the order that they occur. Okay, so now we know what sound does this vowel make. Everybody? Ah, good. And we know this says A. Okay, so now we can pronounce this syllable is rats, and this syllable is bane. Okay, and now we can sweep our finger all the way across, keeping your eyes down, because this is not a word you know. Okay, it's not even a word I know. Okay, you start right here and we just read across. Ratsbane. Okay, do you see how much better that is than just guessing a word? Guessing a word almost always makes it not be right. Okay, let's try this one. Okay, take a minute to think what you would do. Okay. All right, did I hear people say point to the vowels? Well, I come to this vowel here, and I see this one, and then I think, well, this could be the second one, and then I think, oh no, it's not. Why? Yes, you're right. That's the silent E, and it's going to go with those 2, so that counts as our first vowel, doesn't it? It's our silent E. So that's one vowel, and that's our second one. Okay? So we're going to look between, so we're kind of treating this like this, okay, boys and girls, and then that goes like that. So really, we just have to make a decision. We just have an L in between there. So is that L going to go with this word, do you think, or this one? Well, since we know that this is a silent E and that E's kind of at the end, I can't think of a word that ends with an E that has an L on the end of it. Pretty certain that we need to divide it between the E and the L, okay? That's where you have to put your thinking in when we look at those letters to divide. Now, we have to look at each syllable type. So if we look at this first syllable, what's that syllable type? Show me. Yes, I should see you showing me the silent E syllable type. So up here, where are our silent E types? Right over here. This has 1 consonant, 2 consonants. So this is the bar we need. And then if we look over here, yes, that is our short vowel. So we need this one right here. Okay? So we're going to move this down to get our syllable bars in place. And so these are helping us remember how we read them. sometimes it's good to have a visual to remind you how we read these, okay? So here, this is going to be the long U sound. So this word would be June, June, or June. Remember the long U is oo sometimes, or U. So Dune is kind of hard to say, so it's Dune. This is the short A, the A sound. Land, so read that word with me. Duneland, okay? Very good. All right, so on these next ones, what I'm going to show you, really, I think we're going to try to have you do some of these on your own. I'm going to put this up here and get the syllable bars, but start to see if you could figure out how you might divide that. I need one more syllable bar up here. Okay. All right. Hopefully, lots of you were saying, oh, we need to find the vowels. So I see a vowel here, and then I see this vowel here, that E on the end. Okay? All right. So we're going to look between. We have 3 letters in between here, an N, an S, and a P. I know that this S could go here, right? I also know it could go with the P. So you know what? You get to choose, okay? It actually doesn't really matter in this instance. You can choose either one. The word would pretty much sound the same. So, I don't know. My first thought is to keep this S with the first syllable. So I'm just going to do it that way, okay? All right. If you did it another way, that's okay too. So now we want to focus on finding the syllable bar that goes with this word, okay? So we check our vowel. We see that we have one vowel followed by 2 consonants. So we know that this is a closed syllable, which means the vowel is a short sound. So we've got to choose between these, and this is the one that has the right number of consonants to match, okay? Check over here. We've got the O followed by the E, so it has to be the long vowel. We put that syllable bar down. And now, these should remind us what our sound is saying. This is going to be the short sound. This is going to be the long sound, okay? So, cover up this. Say this word. Trans. I hope that's what I heard. Cover up. Cover up this word. The end word is pose. Now we read it all together. Transpose. Transpose. Transpose means when you switch things around. Sometimes you go to write a number and you switch it the wrong way, or you go to spell a word and you put the letters in order. Okay, sometimes that happens. Here's another one. This will be our last word for us to do. It was fun finding words that I had never even heard before. Okay, so let's see if we can divide this one. Again, what do we do? Yes, I heard find the vowels. So I see here's the first vowel, and as I look across, I see vowel, vowel. So there's our silent E, okay? And now we look between. We have an N, a T, and a W. I've seen NT together. I've also seen TW together, haven't we? Like the word twins and twist. So really we could do that one either way. And when we divide that with something like that, most likely it's not going to change, well, it's not going to change the sound of the vowel, okay? So, I don't know. I kind of like the N going with the T. I think there's more words where you see N and T together than that TW. So I'm going to divide it there, okay? So now the only thing is we have to see if we can find which syllable type goes with this, okay? Let me show you something that's kind of fun. Look, these are the cool things about the syllable bars. You can turn them around and match us, see? Because I needed a blend there. So I'm going to move that blend down right there. So it's going to go right there. Okay, so I've got a blend, a short vowel. Ooh, actually, that's not the right one, is it? Look at that. I need this one right here. I told you there's a lot of letters. So there's a blend and a blend at the end, okay? So this is the one that matches here, and this is the one that matches here, okay? Again, these syllable bars remind us, this is the short sound, this is the long sound. Now, all we have to do is say it in order. Here we go. slantwise.